That work?
Yeah, that was great.
Who is Michael Raphael? I think that depends on the day, the hour. I'm a pretty cool dude, you know, but I am also a little bit insane with work ethic. I come into my studio every day. I always work, rain or shine, earthquakes, disasters, whatever's going on in the world, I'm always here, always working. It's kind of like my safe space, and I love to be creative, and I always have. And this is all I've ever done. But that's not all I am. I mean, I'm a dad, a husband, I'm a huge animal lover, but music definitely does take up the majority of my time. So, besides that, I don't know what I am. What does this space mean to me, this home studio I've built over the years? It's actually changed a lot. There used to be a lot of outboard gear here, but I'm kind of a minimalist, so I've gone down to this digital world, which is great. So this could be anywhere. We could take this room and put it anywhere in the world, and I would still, as long as everything's set up the same, I'd feel at home. This is basically my home, is this little studio. No one bothers me in here, actually. I used to make jokes saying I could have dancing girls in here if I wanted, because my wife never comes in here. So, but this is a place to be creative. This is a place, you know, to try anything I want without anyone looking over my shoulder and telling me what to do, because I definitely don't like that. I feel I've done enough to be able to make my own decisions musically. So it's like a safe space for me. My biggest inspiration, that's a interesting thing, because when I was in high school, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I met a brother. And he turned me on to Prince, the Commodores, and I turned him on to Aerosmith and Zeppelin. And we used to go down in this basement, and we would compare music all day. And that actually influenced me a lot, and really turned me on to Prince. And his work ethic, I like to use as a blueprint, actually, with mine. So Prince was a huge influence on me, and Kiss, AC/DC, Aerosmith. It's not only 70s music, I love a lot of artists of today and still go see a lot of them. But work ethic, I'd have to say Prince.
Gruesome, isn't it?
What my son means to me and what is the definition? I think it's different for us because, yeah, I mean, when he was little, obviously, you know, the greatest thing ever is, you know, your son, and I also have a daughter, but my son is into music with me, so we've made a lot of music together. In the beginning, it wasn't good because he thought he knew everything and I thought I knew everything, and we kind of had to break apart for a while and get back together in the studio environment for me to see what he had learned on his own and what he could teach me and what I could teach him. And we're so close that, I mean, it's hard to even put into words, really. But we're also a mutual respect when we work on music together, and we've done albums together. I actually almost killed him one time. I was working on this tune with him forever, and he kept calling the shots. And after a while, old Dad's ego was catching up, and he told me that the tambourine was too loud after I fully had mixed it, and I needed to redo it. That wasn't a good day. We shouldn't really get into that, but I would say that that is going to be go down in history for the maddest he ever got me in the studio. But we've also had great times. The thing that I created that I was really proud of was a trailer album I did, which is still getting placed all over. It was on Jaws versus the Meg. Just, it had a real orchestra. I would do it here, and basically what would happen is what I came out here, we would then hire live celloists, and they would mimic what I did, really take it to another level. I don't want to say I wrote it, but so the end result was just sort of a masterpiece. We had guys playing on there that played like in the Harry Potter movies, so that it was very legit. And I actually have a photo of that album cover out there. So I was really proud of that album when I heard it, because it was almost beyond what I had expected, which was a cool thing when you hear something back and it's even further than what you intended to or can imagine is pretty cool. So I'm really proud of that album. It's called Battle of Worlds. You can find it just on YouTube, Michael Raphaels Battle of Worlds. If I had failures through this journey, it would definitely be my ego. That got in the way a lot. And I think a lot of that came from being insecure. And, a lot of artists that have big egos are just insecure. And I think that got in the way, especially in my band, Jailhouse, which was, MTV VH1 Classic, a hair band. I think that in that band there was some really talented guys that I should have let participate more, but my ego was in the way. That's really about my only regret in the music business. Some of the maybe Disney stuff I shouldn't have done, but because I got pinpointed as being a Disney artist, which I certainly am not. I'm kind of a chameleon. I've proved that in production music that I can almost do any style, but I don't like when people say that, but I have been locked in this room for 2 decades. So be like if you're locked in a prison, you get good at whatever you do in there. That's a bad example, but what can I say? I think that music is a lot different than it was. And, it changes all the time. At one hand, I can say, be dedicated, do this, do that. But, there are people that just make it right off the bat that are huge. That, so what can you say? It's like, yeah, if someone was in here, I would say, definitely put your practice in, be nice, don't have an ego, do this, be open for suggestions. But, I don't even know how much that matters nowadays. It's an Instagram, TikTok world we live in. So, some guy could, I know guys, I don't want to say names, that are on huge tours right now that actually are just awful and being laughed at, and they don't even know it. So, but, how do you explain that? So, I don't know, man. I'm just glad to have my little niche in here. Nowadays, you see 3-year-old people on TikTok playing Eruption from Van Halen, and it's just like, so now there's so much competition out there that I'm really thankful that I just have a place in here and I'm making a living off doing it and being able to do what I want, really. My biggest victory in life. Well, let's stick to music. I don't want to say biggest victory in my life. In music, when I was a kid, I had all the Kiss albums. So I think when I got to open up for the original Kiss in makeup and be backstage with Kiss in makeup as me as an opening act in my band Neve at the time, Neve, that was my biggest victory. Because it was like, after that, I was just like, I still have that. I have that right now talking to you. It's just like that, planted something in me. I've opened for Kiss. the reason that's so big to me is because imagine being a kid. I mean, Kiss was like toys back then. You know, I mean, imagine nowadays you had toys that played music. I mean, you were so into it, and then one day they're standing talking to you about how was it out there tonight. You're just like, that's a victory. I mean, I have some platinum records and all that I've been a part of as a songwriter and collaborator, but the Kiss thing is my victory, 100%.